Hey guys, I'm not in my shop. I'm actually in Michigan visiting family, and I'm in Tyler's shop. You guys recognize him, right? Say hey, Tyler.
DIY Tyler.
DIY Tyler. Anyway, he's not too far from where I grew up, but I figured I'd show you guys his shop. We did a shop tour article, and he did a video on my website previously, but you can't really interact on those. So I'll just walk through and we'll talk about his shop. And he has a, what is this, 10-inch?
It's a 12.
Oh, this is a 12-inch DeWalt miter saw with a little dust box in the back. And you said this dust box works pretty good, right?
Yeah, it works great. All of the 2x6s I cut for the bunk bed, I chopped all of them, and I had a little bit of dust on the side and on the floor. It works excellent, even for MDF. Not quite as good, but still pretty awesome.
I'm jealous at the little amount of dedicated space you have to have behind it, because there's no like the sliding mechanism. Like we were talking about this earlier. Mine, I have to have like 46 inches left to right or something like that because of the sliding mechanism. It's nuts.
Yeah, simply don't have the space. It does get a little tricky when I have to bevel anything.
Right.
But that happens like two times a year.
I was gonna say, you actually do. I don't think I've ever had the bevel on mine.
The hood, the kitchen hood was beveled.
Kitchen hood. Yeah, I'll have links to all the stuff we talk about. He's made quite a few things for the shop and for the house. And then just what is this? Chemicals little cabinet or whatever.
Yeah, don't look too closely. So the first thing that I want to do, like in the very near future here, is a miter saw station similar to yours. Probably not as big, but that's going to go here. I want that mostly for drawers. I'm going to have a lot of drawers to get all the paint in. I need to get my camera gear down here.
Yep.
I have a couple shelves upstairs, so I'm hoping to do, some inserts in here with that kind of stuff. Keep it clean, keep it handy as well. Also get like stacks of batteries down there that you can grab.
Nice. And then he built this bandsaw stand, box joint jig bandsaw stand.
Yep, got a little place for some tools inside. Box joints, casters, cheap casters.
I'd like to build something like that for my saw. It's got the original stand on it too. And you just added, I don't know if you did a video on this, right?
It's actually going to come out next week.
Next week. So whenever you're watching this, is probably going to be out soon, or if not already out. But dust collection right up here where the blade is, and you're going to use like an actual dust collector 4-inch port. I've got a shop back there that made a huge difference. My dust collection is down here somewhere. Didn't really work hardly at all. And you made a little table for yours, which I thought about making a bigger table than what I have, simply for a little bit more material support. But your bandsaw, and then next after that, so we've got a bunch of camera gear here. We've been comparing camera gear and talking stuff. It's pretty cool to bounce ideas and see what works for other people. This is your...
So this is a modular nail gun storage, so you can move these around based on any guns that you have, and then nail storage inside as well.
Fancy
so I got it all stocked up. I do want to... This is temporary. Everything here, or the nail gun and fastening stuff, is all going to go behind me at some point. I need to get the glue over there and this kind of stuff that you need to grab quickly behind me. And
you like your, was it the KISS drill bit system from FastCap?
Yeah. Oh, it's really nice. Saves a lot of time. Just grabbing. Saves a lot of time putting back your stuff.
I was going to say, putting them back. I've got the exact same one and never messed with it. And I actually never even knew it existed until I got it. Someone sent it to me kindly, which was nice.
Yeah.
But the drill bits come in a bag, and they're color-coded on top. So yeah, they're just color-coded. And having no experience with it, I just looked at them, and you automatically tell where they go. So. And
I've taken my own and added them in. Good drill bits as well. They're actually pretty high-quality drill bits, so it's a good deal right there.
And your other drill bit and gun storage.
Yeah. This thing is super awesome, having everything in one spot. Got a drawer for some more, miscellaneous bits that I can take out and bring out outside. I do want to try to keep most of the stuff in my shop capable of just grabbing and leaving, because I do own a home and you need to run around with all that stuff. So
what was the idea behind the shape of this thing being offside to one? Is it just because of the space it was going to be in, or did you have something in mind with...
I designed it with this in mind. You see a lot of other people that have something similar, that this spans the whole width.
Right.
Didn't need that much, and I had it with this in mind to this side, because I do want this over here.
Gotcha.
Because I almost always grab the bits with my left hand because I have this in my right here at the drill press.
Makes sense.
So, a lot of thought. I spend too much time thinking about stuff and not working on it right away.
I'm the same way. You've seen how many times I moved stuff in my shop.
Yeah. So the thought is this will go over here, and then the fastener shelf, which is I've outgrown, will go on the right side. So when I need to drill and screws, it's right there in one spot.
Makes sense at all. Do you ever find yourself wanting to move the floor standing drill press? I've got mine on a mobile cart and I move it all the time, but you just leave it here?
Yes, I've just left it here, and I really don't use the drill press very often, but when you do, it's fantastic.
Right.
You can't get any better than that. The base on here, just because the floor is not perfectly flat, but I don't actually like it. It's a little bit too wobbly. I don't know if that is just the floor standing drill press habit, just because it's so long, but I'm not totally sold on that. I might need to find a better way to keep it level.
Yeah, continuous evolution process.
Yep. What do they call it? Nolan, or is that just organizing?
Oh, that's organizing, I think. Rectangular layout or whatever. Anyway, so this workbench used to be quite large.
Yeah, it used to span all the way to about the spindle sander there. Took that out. A lot of the stuff like this, even some of this, I think, the dust hood is all made from stuff recycled from here.
Oh, wow.
And this is leaving ASAP. I don't like this. It's too deep, which I've said in my previous videos. It's too deep. It is a nice height for working on small stuff. So I think I might take like the top of this and put it over some other sheet goods I have and make a small bench right over here that I can still throw the plans on and stuff like that. So it won't be a clutter gatherer like this one is. And then I can utilize the space back here because you can't even reach it.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that how deep it was until you just now pointed out. Was it like 3 feet or something like that?
It's more than that. It's like 38 or 39, something like that.
That's crazy. Miscellaneous storage down below.
Yep.
And, oh wow, yeah, I can actually tell how deep it is now when you got stuff back there.
Yeah.
It's crazy how you don't realize stuff until you point it out. Anyway, moving along, we've got more fastener storage.
I went with keeping the bins for the reason I could throw it in a bag and bring it outside. I think I'm still going to keep it, but maybe do another section next to it with loose open bins that I can throw here on the workbench.
Yeah.
And I just need more. I mean, you see it's filled up. Not a very good idea to have this right over your trash can.
I imagine so.
Yep.
Pocket hole jig and some clamp storage.
Yep, this is new. I just needed a place to put a bunch of spring clamps.
Simplicity. Just a board with some dowels and nails and such. Everybody stores their clamps different, it seems like.
Now, seeing one of your latest videos on the clamp rack, it's definitely more efficient.
Yeah.
And you can, I don't know how you have it right now. I've only got a couple different lengths of clamps, so I guess it's nice to be able to have each of them in their own spot.
Right.
Which I might do the same thing if I had, and then just have like 2 in each spot for now and add on to it.
Well, your design looks way sturdier than my last one. My last one was just 1 sheet of 3/4 for these supports, and it really just didn't hold up. So.
Yeah. So this was all recycled as well, I think. And this one, like the quick clamps just hang on there on a little lip.
Yeah, there's a little lip right there.
That works out really well.
Quick and easy and handy.
Yep.
And then this cart I want to talk about. This is extremely nice. I like it. I didn't recall seeing the video on this one, and then I had to have him explain it to me because you can probably see what it does, but...
Yeah, so the concept is I can get 4 tools in this area now, and they flip. But having it bolted to the wall, you got to come up with a way of getting everything out here so you have the tool on the bottom not hitting the wall when you turn it. So I used a double drawer slide technique with the actuator in the middle.
Yep.
And then these barrel locks lock everything into place. So if you got your 2 tools, you pull it out, you can flip it, and then lock it back into place. Oh, this is a little thing you need to see here. I got a magnet on the barrel lock, so it holds it into place. So when you slide the drawer shut, these locks never hold open.
Oh, so they...
And bang against the wall. So you see how they're locked into place?
Yeah.
Right here. So they hold up, so you can close the drawer
They don't
all
interfere.
the way every time. Yep.
Man, that is handy.
And it's pretty good. It's actually extremely strong. Really pleased with how this turned out.
That is nifty. Just single drawers on the bottom.
Yeah, and this will just be for, I got my spindle sander stuff in there because you flip the thing over.
Accessories for whatever tools on top.
And then whatever.
So what's going to fill the empty voids here?
I don't know. I do want to do my own disc sander someday.
Yeah.
And maybe a small vertical sander, not like a 72-inch one, but something like that over here. And then lately I made a little sharpening jig for jointer blades and stuff, and I might fasten that to one spot as well, so that I can just have, sharpening jig here and then the different sanding mechanisms in one spot. And then I got a dust port right here to the main system, and I just need to adapt this to a 2-inch and plug it right into the spindle sander.
Handy. Your dust collection setup is very well set up in here too. So the dust collector, well, let me jump before the dust collector. This is your little paint or something booth?
Yep, so this is a portable paint booth. It's got a fan in it and its own pop-up little spray booth that all folds out and locks into place.
That is so quick, easy, and convenient. If it's not convenient, you're not going to use it.
Got a little filter in there, plug the fan in, which I just decided to do it sideways as I was building it. I was going to have it on top, take the handle out, move the switch, but this just
there's no need to. It works out great like that.
So it actually works super awesome. When we get back to the dust collector, I'll show you a little thing that I did. Video's not out yet. But I sprayed it in here in the shop, and I could see the spray just coming right in, and you could feel it on the filter now. So
that's awesome.
Really well. If you check out the video, you'll see how I did it, but it was really sweet, I think, how I used rivets to actually mount the hinges.
Rivets instead of screws?
Yeah, because this is MDF, and the screw simply wouldn't hold in the 1/8 inch that you had there. So the rivets, it actually worked out way, way better than I thought.
That is the little details you got to think about. Man, that is so convenient and so compact. That's nice.
Yep, and then tuck it away, and you're all done.
If it's not convenient, you're not going to use it. So the dust collector, this is a Harbor Freight unit, and you upgraded to is it the wind canister filter?
Yeah, this is a wind filter and then a super dust deputy. And it works extremely well. People have asked me many times if I would do it again. I would absolutely do it again. I've cleaned this bag out one time after I cut literally a mile of MDF for the great room ceiling.
Oh yeah, coffered ceiling you did?
Yeah, it had maybe 2 cups of powder in it. And you can just bang it, blow it with a little bit of compressed air, even stick a vacuum fitting like this up there, and that cleans it out really well, really simple to do.
From the bottom?
From the bottom, yep. So this comes off and it's open on the bottom. This is an open filter with a little flange on it. So you can mount it up through here. And Wind has a ton of different styles, so you can just pick what fits your need there. Your
installation is very clean. You got a lot of clean mounting points, and the bottom of the can, just two wedges to
it's just
act as an incline plane,
like an opposing cam that locks into place. I've wanted to come up with something much more clever than that, like a lifting table, but I've been told this is pretty clever too, so I guess we'll stick with this for now.
Hey man, if it works, it works.
Yeah, and it's quick, so I just pull those out. I do have to make sure the back one is out of the way to actually drop the thing down. But that was convenient to get the cam down as low as I possibly could. To get like a lifting mechanism, you need more room than the 3 inches that I have.
And then the Cyclone, this is the Super Dust Deputy?
Super Dust Deputy, yep. 4 inches in, and it's a 5-inch out with a reducer. And this just happened to clip right onto the Harbor Freight, no modification at all.
Nice. What is this hose? Is this...
So this is what I sprayed in the booth. This actually hasn't hit YouTube yet. This is a real-time monitor. So on the top here, you can see I have. It's kind of a pitot tube theory. So this is open to the filter itself,
right?
And you use air pressure, and it changes the level of this water based on how your filter efficiency is. So if it's super clogged up, it actually goes all the way up to here. So I just drew a little graph for myself. If I'm in this area, then I know I need to clean the thing. And if you're up in here and you clean it, it is incredible how much more airflow you get out of your system. So
that is clever. So otherwise you just kind of really wouldn't really notice that, like you need to clean your filter. So it's
if you pay attention enough, you can hear it's a little bit different, and then you just notice that your system is not sucking
as efficient
like it should. Yeah.
Man, that's some fancy pants stuff right there.
I had something else to say about this, but I don't remember right now.
So
I know what it is.
Go ahead.
This has like 250 square feet of filter media, and you actually don't see the bag billow out when it's clean. So that's another way to kind of know. You can see it when you turn it on. If it's really tight, then you need to clean it. But this is a nice way to glance back here. Got my orange water in there, of course, so you can see the level right off the bat.
That's cool. And so the main line, and I've mentioned like how much it looks like there's a ton of line in here, but you said it's still very efficient and it's working really well.
Yeah. So from here to directly behind you.
Let's see, I follow it all the way across, drops down, goes over the ceiling, comes back down over there, and then the furthest point's that one right there.
Yes. So that at some point will be for the drill press and the bandsaw, which isn't a lot of dust, which is partly why the jointer and the planer and table saw are all on this line right here, especially the jointer and planer are very close. So from here to that back is about 40 something feet, and I've never had an issue with it. So
that's awesome.
This is the main line to the shop, and then I can close these dampers, open the other to get to the sanding station.
The future sanding station to this.
Yep.
Okay. So then the main line comes up over just some homemade brackets, homemade blast gates, and then the first drop is to your planer.
Yep, this is a 13-inch planer. Got this on Craigslist with a bunch of other stuff for a phenomenal deal.
Yeah, I remember you previously telling me about the great deal you got on some tools.
This planer, I don't think you're a huge fan of yours, Jay, but this actually has a snipe prevention lock on it, so it locks the wheel in place, and this works really, really well. I actually don't have an issue with snipe on this system.
That's crazy. Now, what is this planer? This is a
rigid.
A rigid planer.
Yeah. So the new design is orange instead of gray, but I'm almost positive they still have this locking mechanism on there as well.
Well, that's neat. And then most miscellaneous storage above.
Yep. This was one of the first projects I ever did. Again, all recycled from that first workbench that we had there.
Keeping the theme of orange going. And then we have...
This is going to be a router table right here. Hoping to do a router table a little bit different than most people.
Homemade lift or manufactured lift?
Homemade lift, possibly. Somebody you know, Jay Bates. We'll see. So that and a little twist on the router table. I'm not going to give it away exactly, but let's just say I've routed a lot of trim in my life.
Uh-oh, there you go.
That'll give you a little hint there. A couple jigs on the wall. I did have a different belt sander jig that I made to hold a belt sander at 90 degrees. Recently gave that to a friend since I have the spindle sander now.
And I don't know if I've said it, but this is a basement shop, by the way.
Yeah.
So a lot of the houses, well, just about every house in Michigan, it seems like, has a basement. So a lot of shops in the basement. Anyway, more jigs, and you do have a shop vac cyclone setup.
Yep. Yeah, you need a cyclone. It saves you so much heartache with the filter.
Oh yeah, man, I love mine.
I do want to compact this together though, whether that's a smaller blower, stack it. I was hoping to come up with something clever to be able to put it underneath the dust collection filter. I don't know if I can get it that compact and still get enough power. So
right.
Gotta think about that one.
And you have a 6-inch jointer.
Yep, 6-inch jointer. Again, another Craigslist deal. Works great. I just sharpened the blades on it for the first time. What a difference. It's really, really nice to have sharp blades in your system.
You sharpen them yourself, or do you have them send them out?
I sharpen them myself. I can show you the little jig that I made for that if you would like.
Sure, yeah.
Let me go grab that real quick.
So you made a... So you just made a video on this, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll post a link down below.
So this is not my idea. A dude named Doolin, I think, came up with it or at least licensed it.
Doolin,
yeah.
Okay.
There's a link on my channel about that. So you just make on the table saw these opposing 45-degree slots. You slide your blade in there, you tighten it down with a screw, and then you slide it on increasingly grittier sandpaper, or ungrittier, I guess, finer sandpaper.
Right.
So 180, and I have 4,000 here, which these are a strip of sandpaper that you can get under that guy's name. and then I glued this down on my own just to get a super fine sheen on your blades.
What is the platform here? Is it just MDF?
This is MDF, and I put a piece of glass on top of it.
Okay.
It's probably recommended to use a 1/4-inch piece of glass, but I couldn't get my hands on one.
Right.
And I figured MDF is very stable and flat. So between that, the construction adhesive, and the glass plate, it worked out really well. You do have to be careful when you spread the glue, though, that you are making sure you don't warp the glass a little bit. So I actually had a planer blade that I was, sliding around to make sure it was perfectly flat.
Right.
Somebody commented that I should have used a groove trowel, like for spreading grout,
Mm-hmm.
and that would have been even. And of course, you don't think of that when you're trying to build the thing.
Right, absolutely. Hindsight's 20/20. That is clever.
I got one for planer blades, and then I got a smaller one for jointer blades.
Nice.
And if you have a three system jointer like I do, 3-blade jointer, you simply alternate between, you do one, change the blade, go to the next one.
1 and 2, and then 2 and 3, and then 3 and 1, or whatever.
Yep, exactly.
Well, that's a handy little setup. I'm jealous about that with the planer blades. My planer is the DW735 planer, and you can't sharpen the blades. But I've talked about that previously. So that's pretty cool for your jointer.
Yep.
And I'm going to keep going around the room before I get to the center. So over here, this is an L-shaped shop. And make sure I'm not backing into anything. But you have horizontal lumber storage above. I've begun to hate horizontal lumber storage because the one you want is always on the bottom.
Yeah, it's always on the bottom. Yeah, tell me about it. Like this, and then you get just small pieces, which I throw some of them in a bucket, but then you just can't get to it. So
Well, you need 15 buckets now.
yeah, and lumber storage is just an absolute pain. It's really great for this kind of stuff, but this is not really normal to have a stack like this in here. This was from an old lumber cart that was huge, that used to be right in here, had sheet storage on it, and then you put your longer lumber in the back. It was just terrible. It stuck out to about here.
Yeah.
Couldn't move it, and then same thing, I'm just piling little pieces on the front. Can't get rid of it, so.
Right.
Full sheet good fits under here.
Full sheet good will fit under there.
Yeah, so that was on purpose. This works, but the top is pretty small. But this is probably the best I could come up with in a shop like this. I do think I probably will add more buckets. Was thinking at one point of trying to have them on an angle when I was trying to come up with my own lumber cart. But there's really no need to have a rolling lumber cart, I don't think.
Yeah. I got rid of mine, actually. I just, it wasn't worth the dedicated space that it took up.
Yeah, for sure.
So, convenient sheet good storage, and this L-shaped kind of, it'd be nice, you said, to have this much space over here, but at the same time, this little...
It's a debate with the wife.
Debate with the wife.
I'm losing right now.
Oh, good luck with that. And speaking of wife, I don't know if you guys hear it in the background, but my wife and his wife are upstairs just chit-chatting away, so if there's noise, that's what it is.
Sounds like they're having a good time.
And we have a community sticker board, which the whole sticker craze blew up. That's a interesting topic. And you have
The wife gave me that one.
the wife gave you that one. Wife. So you have your CNC machine in here, and this is a little folding table, which is neat because those CNC machines, they take up a lot of space, and that's a problem with a lot of people. So a lot of shop spaces. So from there you can work and throw it back up.
This is actually French cleated onto the wall. I do have some support underneath because it was heavy enough that it became an issue.
Right.
So I just have some, triangles under there. Triangles are your friend.
Oh yeah.
And this is a torsion box assembly, so it's very, very stable, like shockingly stable. This stays very, very true. So really happy with how this turned out. This is one of the most requested set of drawings that I have.
And all of the supplies to run the CNC.
Laptop in there, the controller and everything for the CNC is underneath.
This is I think this is the most clean CNC setup, one of these X-Carves or like the Shapeoko 3 or anything like that. One of the more clean ones that I've ever seen. It's very nice, very well done. And when you're done, it just folds up out of the way.
It's simply too big to have laying around your shop.
Yeah. And is it just, you do have a hook on the other side?
Yeah, this is just a strap right now, bolted into the wall.
Yeah.
I did see a gentleman build the same thing, and the post that I have here that the table actually locks up against.
Yeah.
I saw him put it on the top, and it actually locked over the front here, kind of like I had on the pop-up spray booth. So it was actually like a spring wood.
Yeah.
Really clever idea.
Cool. Awesome. So that brings us to the front of the shop, the entrance of the shop.
So we're in right here. And yes, I can get full sheets of plywood down, no problemo.
Full sheets of plywood down in the basement, and leaves us with the center island, which I guess the soon-to-be old router table stored down below.
Yeah, exactly. So this is just, miscellaneous stuff. Got some air hoses down here, old tripods, and all sorts of stuff get thrown in there.
And you did a video on this outfeed / assembly table.
Yep.
And I remember this twin twin vise that's...
It's a vise with quick clamps, though, instead of pipe clamps.
It's the first one I've seen with quick clamps.
Yep. I use it a lot more than I thought I would, and it works extremely well.
Yeah, I said the exact same thing. Oh man, I don't know if I'm changing the focus. I keep bumping my camera. Anyway, I said the same thing about mine when the first one that I made is like used it a lot more than you thought it would. It's very handy.
Yep. And these are 18 or 24 inch clamps. 18. And you can actually adjust them. You can adjust the head by reaching inside.
Yeah.
It's one of those reversible heads, so you can move in, adjust it, and I can get this much clamping space if I need it.
Right.
And then you can push it back in so you don't hurt anything.
Right. So miscellaneous storage down below, and this is this larger grid torsion box. You actually use these cubbies on the inside for.
Yep, I got tools that are pretty big and I don't grab all the time that stick inside. Got some clamps, brush to sweep everything off. And as I'm working on stuff, I will throw it in there as well if I need more room.
I see, that was a good selling point for me to build mine the way I did, but I never use it. I just use mine for crap because I've got the miter saw station behind it. But if you're interested in more space while you're actually working on the top, it is handy to be able to throw stuff down there.
And I also clamp through here. I don't have the holes everywhere. You can see I got some holes. Big topic of debate.
Yeah.
But I do happen to throw a lot of little stuff on here, and I just haven't had a need yet. If I find a need, I'll just drill some holes in it.
Right.
If I don't like it, I can put a new top on it.
And then some 2-foot deep drawers, rather large drawers.
Yeah, I think so. Are they 2 feet? Yeah, that must be 2 feet.
Oh wow, man! Organization, I love it. This is that Kaizen foam.
Yep, this is the Kaizen foam.
See, I was hesitant on it because I'm afraid that as soon as I get everything placed, then I'm gonna change something, and then I got a hole that's not for that particular tool anymore.
I like it like this, but I don't know. It takes quite some time to put all the cuts in there
And plan it out.
Yeah, I'll have to try some different techniques, but it satisfies your OCD.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then just a deeper drawer full of miscellaneous power tools that you grab.
Right.
And another one. So this is all measuring stuff, measuring, cutting, calipers.
Oh man, it looks so good when everything's nice and laid out like that, though.
This is the sander drawer. Some clamps. Gotta clean that out.
And then you've got a pancake style compressor down there.
Little Harbor Freight that's been good to me for years and years. Don't use it very much because I have some of the cordless tools, which are pretty nice. You don't have to hear that go off.
Right. And your table saw.
Yeah, before that, nice little tip. It's always nice to have tape measures and a pencil if it's there laying around. This actually has a pencil sharpener in there as well. Just a quick way to not have to walk back and grab your tape measure. I got these in a couple spots around the shop in places that you would normally use one. So
yeah.
Just grab it and go.
My problem is I'd grab that and then I'd walk right there and then I'd drop it there and forget that, and then I realize that that's not there and I'm looking over there for it, and then I find another one over there, and tape measures are the nightmare.
Yes, they are.
And then a cast iron, what is this, a Craftsman?
This is a Delta.
Delta.
This is an old style Delta, so it's a very, very heavy top. I tuned it up pretty well, but like most contractor saws, the trunnions don't stay true. So sometimes you got to give it a little pull one way or the other to true it up to the fence and the miter slots.
A little maintenance is required here and there.
But it's a 1.5 horse at 220, and it's taken everything that I've pushed through it so far. Nice.
Now, is it direct drive or is the motor hanging out the back?
Motor's hanging out the back, and I wanted to tell you about that. This this workbench is actually cantilevered off so that the motor goes right underneath the workbench, and it works great. A lot of people ask me for drawings for this, which I can email them to you if you so like. But yeah, so it just, what is that, bevels right up into there.
Right.
And I do have some additional dust collection on the table saw. Usually it's wide open, but I made my own little canister on the bottom, and then there's some like probably 3/8 plywood on the back to enclose as much as you can, and it actually works extremely well.
Nice. Nice. So on the other side, you've got a nice little cabinet down here. Is that a cutoff bin?
Yep, so this is just for your scrap wood right from the table saw. And then I've got blades and inserts for the miter saw as well. And then above, I've got some different push devices. Little square. You always need to check your 90. Bevel gauge. Miscellaneous different push sticks and such for the table saw, and the jointer, which is right to the right here now.
Yeah. So is this fence factory with the saw?
Yes, this is the Unifence. It's an old design from Delta. Works really well. You can, some nice features about this is you can actually pull the fence back to do cutoffs, so you don't pinch anything right here.
Yeah, typically like I would have to put a stop block here so your miter, whatever you're cutting with the miter gauge, doesn't interact with the fence as the cut is being made.
Exactly.
So that's handy.
That's nice. And then if you have super thin cuts, you can actually turn this fence so this becomes your cutting edge instead of the tall fence.
Right.
You can index it around to make small cuts so you can get your hand in there safely.
I think I saw that on New Yankee Workshop. Norm had something similar, didn't he? I think so.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. It's a very old design. They don't sell it anymore as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
But I got 32 inches of capacity. There's times where I wish I had another 4 inches or so. Doesn't everybody? But yeah, so this works for the most time.
Nice. And you do have one spot where the dust collection runs across the floor, and that's a topic for a hot topic for debate. I've had so many people tell me, like, you can't do it on the floor because you're going to trip over it, whatever. Yes, it kind of is a trip hazard, but it's just like anything else. If you know that there's a step to go into your house, what do? You pick up your feet to go over the step. So you know it's there, and you walk over it.
You definitely remember it just by muscle memory and time. And this is not the main walkway.
Right.
It's over there. So I go this way when I'm jointing stuff, and that's it. Really, I'm almost never walking through here.
Right.
I don't know why I didn't go above. I think the reasoning was because I needed the jointer drop here as well, and there was just too much connection going on here to be able to come through here and drop down by this post.
Right.
Which is a pain in the neck because it's in just the wrong spot.
Just the wrong spot, yeah. So this isn't a crazy huge shop, but it's not a small shop either. And it's a nice little cozy space. It's plenty enough room to build and also assemble if you wanted to assemble. But anyway, we may or may not have time today to shoot something else, a project or something. So be sure to subscribe to Tyler if you guys haven't already done so. And thanks for checking out our shop today.